Hey there guys, Jimmy from Glassy Gaming here, bringing you a new TF2 video. This is Trade Talk episode 6, and I wanted to do this on a couple different things, but for the most part it's all the same. This is basically unusual trade tips, so I know a lot of you trade unusuals or are into unusuals, so basically I just want to give you some tips and tricks on what to do and what not to do. So first of all, try not to buy hats you don't like. I know that it may be hard and you may end up buying a hat you don't like just because it was a good deal, and that's fine. You know, you can get hats you don't like. Just remember that it's going to be a lot harder to sell them for you because I don't know how it works. It just, for some reason, having a hat you like seems to make it sell a lot faster. Like if you don't want to sell it that fast, it will end up selling a lot faster. I don't know if it's just a mentality thing or what, but it just happens like that, you know? So when you buy a hat that you like or you trade for a hat that you like, you tend to not mind keeping it for a little while, and that makes you a lot more patient with it, and so it sells easier. I don't know how to explain it, it just does. Like, it's easier, you know? I had a Scorching Pyromancer's mask that I didn't really want to sell anyone. Ended up selling it really quick for a lot more than I thought I would, you know? And that's just how it works. But don't be afraid to buy hats you don't like. Just, you know, try not to pay like premium for them, because if you do, you're gonna, you know, pay a lot for a hat you don't really want, and then you're gonna be stuck with it and you're gonna be really upset. Also, another thing, don't be afraid of new effects. Yes, you should avoid them sometimes, but honestly, I've made a lot of profit off of these new effects like Cloud9, Miami Nights, and Disco Beatdown, and all that other stuff. And so it may sound like, you know, oh well, everyone says don't, you know, buy the new effects because they're not, you know, they're not settled yet. The prices are not, you know, firm on them. Okay, prices aren't firm on any unusuals, dude. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I wouldn't go paying like extreme buyouts for every single new effect you find. But if you find a nice new effect hat, go ahead and buy it if it's a good deal for you. You know, if it seems like it's a good deal, it probably is, especially if it's a hat that you like. Like if you, like I got a Miami Nights Bonk Boy that I really didn't mind keeping because I liked the Bonk Boy a lot and I didn't mind Miami Nights. I ended up selling it for fucking Sunbeam's Kabuto, you know? And I don't know how it happened. I just got lucky, but still, I made a lot of profit off of a hat that I didn't think I would make a lot of profit off of, and I just wanted to keep for a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's why you don't gotta worry too much about hats that have new effects or new hats. Another thing that, you know, a lot of people try to avoid is new hats because they're not settled. What people need to realize is no hat prices are settled. Hat prices fluctuate all the time. This market is not static. There's no set price on any unusual, and there never ever will be. Yeah, people use backpack.tf and other shit like that to price their hats, but it doesn't matter. If there's, say, 5 burning stashes on the market and they all set their buyout at 30 buds, you're not going to get one for less because they all want 30 buds and that's it, and they don't mind keeping their hat. So yeah, the price on like backpack.tf may be 20, but you're not going to get one for 20, so it doesn't matter. You know, it literally does not matter. It's all up to, you know, the buyers and sellers of the hats. That's what makes the prices in the market, is the buyers and the sellers of the various unusuals that there are. Also, another thing to point out, don't ever buy shark unusuals or scammed unusuals, because you will get a lot of, 1, flack, which is not fun, and 2, you will probably get banned or, you know, marked if you buy a scammed unusual. I don't know if there's any repercussions for buying sharked unusuals, but still, it's not a good thing to do. You're only encouraging sharking, which isn't good at all. Also, if you have a bunch of gear on you, like, you know, earbuds or max heads or anything like that, try not to, you know, offer really shitty offers on people, because that's not nice. You know, not everyone wants the quick sell. Just advertise your buds, and eventually the right person will come to you. However, just in case, make sure they're not marked on Steam Rep, or, you know, make sure they're not an alt account, because sometimes deals do come and they're way too good to be true. So you gotta make sure, because if you don't, you will get marked again, and that's, again, not fun. If you get marked on Steam Rep, you can't really trade anymore. It's really hard. And lastly, try to trade for multiple unusuals, because when it comes down to it, yeah, you can have one big unusual, but it's going to sell a lot slower than a bunch of smaller unusuals, and there's a lot of reasons for that. One, when you have smaller unusuals, you're a lot more patient just because you have a lot more hats to play with. When you only have the one big hat, you only have the one, hat, and that's it. That's all you have. So that already makes it harder. Second of all, not many people can afford the really big hats. A lot of people can afford the small hats. So yeah, the small hats may be less desirable to you. So unless you want a really big hat to keep for a while, I wouldn't buy it. I'd probably try and trade down to a bunch of different unusuals, because that way a lot more people can afford it, and a lot more people will want it. Because if you have a 4-bud hat, a much greater majority of the market can afford a 4-bud hat compared to, say, a 20-bud hat. So if you trade down your big 20 earbud unusual hat to, say, maybe 3 4-bud hats, and let me do my math here, that was 12 total, yeah, and then like an 8-bud unusual, that's still gonna sell a lot faster and be a lot easier on you than a 20-bud unusual, trust me. Unless like you have a really high demand 20-bud unusual, then it might be easier to sell, like, a nice Crohn's Dome, or a nice Killer's Exclusive, a nice War Pig, stuff like that. It's really big and has a lot of demand right now. But other than that, try and break down your unusuals. It's fine to get a big unusual every now and then, but try to break down your unusuals for sure. So that's basically it. Those are just my various tips and tricks on how to trade your unusuals and what to trade for and whatnot. So hopefully if you guys want me to talk about something else in a trade talk video, let me know. But until then, later.